Hey, what's going on, everybody? Slisso here. Just wanted to bring you guys a quick story about it's kind of like a moral thing. Um, so boom, there I was. I was on my bike, and this was a couple weeks back, by the way. And so I was on my bike, and I'm doing my thing. I'm like having fun, working out, doing both, killing two birds with one stone, pretty much. Um, I'm going all the way downtown from where I live, and I'm not stopping. Eventually, I stop. I take the train. Cause like at this point I'm like tired. I'm done. So I take the train back uptown, and it's near my house, but I still need to take a bus if I want to get like straight over to my house essentially. So that's what I do. I go and I wait for the bus. The bus takes about 2 minutes to get there. Um, and at this time it was pretty dark as well, and it's not a great neighborhood. So I made sure that that I got on the bus instead of like walking through the shady parts of town and stuff. Um, Debatable. All the parts near my town are shady. But anyways, yeah. So I get on the bus and I see the bus driver is looking a little bit tired. I'm like, hey, how you doing, bus driver? How you doing, driver? Everything all right? With you, just kind of making small talk with him and keeping him awake essentially. And and by the way, this was like way before all the Corona stuff. Um, So he's like, yeah, man. He ended up being a really cool guy. For like the only like I was there for only about 4 stops. So it wasn't a long distance, but it was a nice little talk I had with the guy. I said, hey, how you doing? And then I took my seat and kind of like conversed with him here and there and didn't really like talk too much, but we still. So how you doing, man? Like when I sat down, he would ask me something, and then like a couple of questions back and forth. Not nothing too crazy. So finally we get to my stop. I'm about to get off. I'm like, yo, man, listen, thank you so much for taking me this far and driving safe. And I hope you continue to drive safe and stay positive. Essentially, is what I told him. I was like, thank you for driving once again. It was like a quick, like, as I'm walking past him, and I make sure I go like this. I'm like, I I always throw up my hand for some reason whenever I'm trying to like talk to people essentially. I like throw up my hand and like say like, yo, man, thank you so much for doing whatever you did. You know it's at the end of the day it's his job um to drive the bus, but you gotta also remember that these are people too. They have lives and they think just the same way that we do. um I know a lot of times people get caught up in just thinking that this person, yo, it's your job, just do your job. For me, it's not like that, and for most people, it shouldn't be like that. It should be more about this is somebody in my community that is helping me, by providing the service, and taking the time out of his day in order to drive me safely home, essentially. Um, so yeah, off on that little tangent. So I get off the bus, and the bus is stopped right on the corner, and there's a red light, so I'm about to cross the street right in front of the bus. So I'm crossing the street. I'm like about halfway through. Bus driver honks the horn twice or like 3 times, whatever it was, and he signals for me to come back. And I go over to his window, his driver's side window, and he's like, "Hey man, do you drink any energy drinks? Do you drink any energy drinks?" And I'm like, "Nah, but I'll try it." And like he's showing me this can right here. It's like it's called E-Boost. You're kicking a can. Super fuel, whatever this marketed stuff is. Um, it's an e-drink or like a yeah energy drink. So I go ahead and I'm like, yo, thanks again so much, man. Appreciate you, and I thank you for the drink as well. Um, Obviously this was weeks ago. I'm not gonna drink it now. But I then from there I just continued on my way home, and that was the end of it. And this can right here. As soon as I got away from that, I was like, this can right here. It represents a lot, in terms of um just giving back to the community type of thing. and thanking the people that are around you and what you can actually receive from uh, people in general. If you know, if you're nice and polite and a decent human being and you treat everybody the way that it should be treated, um, I feel like this can, it symbolizes more than whatever you might think it is at first. For me, it symbolizes, let's say, if I was just treating a nice guy, or if I was just treating somebody I didn't know randomly on the street really nice. I was just like, hey, just conversing with someone. You have no idea who that person is or anything. You don't know. Maybe you guys can exchange contact info. Maybe that person is looking for somebody for a job, and that just so happens to be a random interview that you just got like on the spot pretty much just by talking to the guy, and maybe you just so happen to also be looking for a job in that same field. You never know. It's crazy. Um, what types of people you run into on the street, especially if you're like from a big city the way that I am, from New York City, especially like right in the middle of Manhattan. um, you can literally meet anybody. So on where I live, it's poor is what you would essentially call it, in like ghetto and stuff. You go down 2 blocks, 1 block, and you're literally sitting next to $1 million penthouses and a bunch of different nationalities everywhere. Within 2 blocks, you have like a million different nationalities and types of people living around here. And that's just what it is here in New York City. You can turn the street and you'll see 10 different types of people on the street. You'll see everything, literally everything: Hispanics, blacks, whites, Jewish people, um, which are like Middle Eastern people, Asian people. You'll see them all on the same sidewalk, and you don't think anything about it because here in New York City, that's what it's about. It's diverse. Um, and without being said, with that diversity, um, sorry, also comes, like diversity in, what these people can do for you, or what these people do, what they are looking for, what you might be looking for. And like you never know how the stars align. It I see it as like the can that bus driver gave me could have been a job offer. It could have been, it could be a job offer. It could be, a grant, a scholarship, like an offer to play at some school or something. If I was talking to him about basketball and how I have dreams of playing basketball, for some random guy in the street that I was just talking about basketball to, and he just so happens to be a coach at one of the main schools, a D1 school for basketball, and I'm telling him how I'm looking for a D1 scholarship straight out of high school. You never know. He might just say, send some clips or send a video to this email by today, and I'll have it reviewed, and I'll have an answer for you for a scholarship. Isn't that crazy how that might it, things just turn up like that? And I feel like whenever you do put out the right energy into the world, um at one point some of that energy is going to bounce right back at you, and it's going to ricochet right back towards you in such a positive way that you wouldn't even believe. um you know that's my message for today. Just be kind to everyone, be nice to everyone, um, make long lasting relationships, talk with people randomly on the street, doesn't matter who it is. If they don't want to talk sometimes, then it's fine. Not everybody's going to be in the greatest of moods, which is perfectly fine. Um, some people just prefer to just say hi and bye, which is great too. You know, um, Connect with people. Um, Make sure that you're that guy that when people see you, they're like, man, this guy's a great guy. This guy like will talk to you, and he'll make you feel comfortable, and it feels like I just met this guy like 2 seconds ago, but he talks to me as if we're best friends. And honestly, those types of people are like the best types of people. Like that person that just met you, not too long ago, and you guys are talking already like you guys are amazing friends. And when you have that type of warmness to you, you just attract things. You just attract everything that is around you. Um, and I feel like that's just one key to success that everybody can apply to themselves, and it's such an amazing thing. Um, yeah, man, that's my takeaway from this today. I appreciate you guys for watching, sticking around, and listening to me blabble on for a little bit. If you guys got anything to say about it, like if you guys got a story of your own about something similar like this, where you might have been offered something, you might have not been offered something, where you should have been offered something, well, not should have, because we just take what we're offered, right? Um, or maybe we ask for it sometimes too. Depends on who you are, you know. That's something different completely. Um, you know, just take advantage of everybody you can meet, everybody you can talk to. There's great people out there, you know. You just gotta get out there and talk to them, and opportunities just come flying at you, I guess, at that point. Um, I definitely am. When all of this coronavirus stuff is over, I was thinking about starting something where I would have an Instagram page, and I would meet at least one person every single week, one new person randomly off the street every single week. It might not sound like much to begin with, but in a year, that's 52 people, if I'm counting that right. I'd have to do my math on that. I'm pretty sure it's 52 weeks in a year, so, um, you know, that's 52 new people. And I mean, on paper it sounds great, but hopefully when all of this coronavirus stuff is over, we actually get out there and test it. Other than that, again, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Peace out. I'm also going to be uploading a video on my workout. I'm currently working out. I'm going to show my progress on that, and I'm just going to have a great time. I mean, I've got a lot planned. And that's all I'm going to say.